Well, good morning, everyone. This is Will Tuell of the Will Tuell Sports Channel, and we are live on YouTube. You can hear Discord dinging in the background. Ironically enough, that's how we're going to start out this broadcast. Nonetheless, this is Will Tuell. We're here bringing you mid-season 5 Field of Dreams baseball, and I'll probably do a game, maybe two, and we'll see where we land. We are on the date of, let's see, we're on April 18th, I believe, maybe 19th. For those just joining us, this is season 5 of Field of Dreams baseball, which you can find on the Sports Dreams Discord group. It is indeed April 18th. We have a couple of options for games we're going to broadcast today as people file into the ballpark, maybe with a little breakfast sandwich or a cup of coffee or hot chocolate, whichever the case may be. We're going to roll along with this. If folks are jumping on, please let me know in the Discord. If you are in the Discord, drop on and just drop a private note. I don't always see messages, so I'm going to check that just to see how the audio is going, to see if we're live, to see all of that good stuff before we really get cranking. So let me check. All of that good stuff. I can hear myself. So we're gonna forge on, and we will start. We have a couple of options for games here. We have St. Louis and the D-Gens, who the D-Gens it will take effect in the next round of games next month on Thursday, if you will. Made an amazing trade for Lou Gehrig last night, which will have repercussions, I'm sure, for their division. So we're not gonna play the D-Gens game. I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna play Vegas and Manchester. I think that's the game we're going to go with, at least at first, and see where we go from there. And I will check again. We're going to try to probably sim a week or so of the season. Let's see what we have. I'm just looking at the next day's games to see who plays who. D-Gens and Lehigh play on the next day. Let's see what other good games do we have? We have a bunch, but I think we're going to start. With the best bet is going to be to start with this day here. We're going to sim through some of these games and go from there. So starting off with D-Gens in St. Louis, who we're not going to play, we're going to sim, as I said. We have a roll of the dice, and it appears to be a win for St. Louis, 7-2. Mathewson moves to 4-1. That's Christy Mathewson. Bob Feller picks up the loss. He's 1-2. Mike Piazza went 3 for 5 with his third homer and 3 RBIs. Crystal Lake and Lehigh. We have, in that situation, it looks like Lehigh prevails 5-1. Mordecai Brown with a win. Jack Morris, I believe, with the loss. He falls to 2-1. Willie Mays moves to 3 for 4 with 2 RBIs and a double. Florence and T-ville, much improved Florence at 9-5, faces 8-6 T-ville, who still has Lou Gehrig on their roster, at least as far as the rest of this month goes, but we'll soon be having a big shakeup there. So T-ville, let's see how they enjoy, and they prevail over Florence 2-1. Leonard gets the win, Lee the loss, and Babe Ruth went 3 for 3 with his third homer. Next up, we have Chicago and Hagerstown. Chicago gets the 1-0 win over Hagerstown. Law moves to 2-2. Necro falls to 0-3. Barry went 2 for 4 with a triple. Now we are going to play out Vegas and Manchester, so we'll skip past them at the moment and move over to Philadelphia and Edmonton to see how they're going to fare. Let's see. And that is a win for Philly, 5-4. Raleigh Fingers gets it. Deacon Felipe falls to 0-3. Pie Trainer moves to 5-4. Went 4 for 5 with two doubles. Next up is Maplewood and Long Island. And we have a win by Long Island, who moves to 6-9 on the young season. Sabathia goes to 2-2. Perez falls to 1-2. Swisher went 2 for 3 with a triple and a double. And my beloved Hadley Lake, who for the moment anyway is in first place in our division, fares off against Cleveland. We will see how this game goes. And it went very well for Hadley Lake. We get the win, 12-5. Corey Kluber moves to 3-1. Cuellar falls to 1-2. Matt Holliday went 5 for 6 with his third homer and 3 triple doubles. So you'll take that 7 days a week. So as of this moment in time, very early on, I should say, we have in this, the Hadley Lake squad is a game and a half up on Vegas. And for context, Manchester is a game and a half up on San Francisco. So we will see if either of those two teams can cut into their respective divisions' leads. To do that, let's go down to the ballpark with Vegas and Manchester. Here we go. And I would dearly love to be playing someplace other than Coors. I mean, not Coors. I'm sure MV would love to be playing someplace other than Coors. Nonetheless, here we are. What I meant to say was Camden Yards. Would love to be playing someplace other than there. So we'll see if we can make that happen. Once we know who's who and what's what, let us go down to the view opponent, hit the computer lineup, view opponent, hit the computer lineup, view opponent, hit the computer lineup, and off we will go to the old ballpark. So here we are. So here we are getting ready to play ball. The national anthem has just been played. It is going to be Vegas traveling to Coors Field to face the Red Bolts, the Red Bolt Nation, who is 9-5. Welcome to Coors Field to tonight's game, where Manchester has won 8 of their last 10 games. John Lester takes the mound for Vegas. He's made 3 starts on the year and is 1-1 with an ERA of 5.17. It's his first start against Manchester. He'll be opposed by Matt Harvey from Manchester. Harvey has made 2 starts on the year and is 1-0 with an ERA of 4.50. It's his first start against Vegas. His 62 degrees, wind speed 16 miles an hour, out to left field. So expect to see a lot of home runs being clubbed here in this ballpark. Play ball! And before we do, we are going to give this a shot to try to get the ballpark pitcher switched. For whatever reason, my game has not been cooperating in this respect for I don't know how long, but it is what it is. So we are going to go down to Coors, see what we have here, see if we can do this, see if we can do this, see what we can do. We will use image as day. I say we'll use that as day. Is it going to? Maybe it isn't. I don't know if it is or it is not. Let us see what will transpire. If that works, it does not. So imagine you are in Coors Field. So for whatever reason, my game is not taking in images properly. So we're not going to get bogged down on that. we are just going to go with the flow here. We're just going to go with the flow. And taking the hill for Manchester, as mentioned earlier, is Matt Harvey. In the field for the Red Bulls, we have Ryan Braun in left, Bernie Kauf in center, Stan Musial in right. From third to first, we have Harry Steinfeld at third, Tulowitzki at short, Joe Morgan at second, and Ed Roosh at first. Behind the plate, we cannot see behind the plate at the moment, but a quick glance over. And that leaves us Miguel Olivo behind the plate. Leading off for Vegas is Tim Raines. He's batting .232 with no homers and 5 RBIs. Kind of off to a fast start from a production standpoint. And here is the first pitch. The corners came in, the pitch. That ball is lifted out to right, down the line. Musial going back on it, but it's off of the wall, it appears. Raines is going to race into second with his 5th double of the season. That ball just kept carrying out to right and clanged off the wall as Tim Raines, the speed demon, moves into second base to lead the game off. Now up, it's Javier Baez batting .224 for Vegas with a homer and 12 RBIs. Talk about on fire. Matt Harvey needs to be careful here as the pitch comes in. That ball is shot out past the dive of Tulowitzki and into right field. A throw to third is not in time, so runners are at the corners with nobody out early on. And it gets no easier as Vegas will bring Joe DiMaggio to the plate. The left fielder is batting .276 with 3 homers and 11 RBIs. And here comes the pitch from Harvey. And that ball is a pitch out, nothing doing. So the count moves to 1-0. We'll do it all over again. DiMaggio stands in at the ready as Harvey comes set and fires. The throw to first. Baez does dive back, and he gets back in there safely. So we'll do it all over again. Harvey does not want to face DiMaggio, and you can't really blame him there. The pitch comes home, and that ball is swung on and missed for strike 3. DiMaggio's dispensed with after all of that for the first out of the game. And we now move on to Frank Robinson, the third baseman, right fielder rather, who's batting .250 with 1 homer and 4 RBI on the season. Harvey bears down. The pitch. That ball is roped past Tulowitzki, but he grabs, fires to second for 1. A run will come home, and Robinson will be safe at first. So Vegas takes the early lead and is threatening for more with Cecil Cooper standing in. He's batting .279 with a homer and 5 RBIs. The pitch from Harvey to Cooper. That ball out over the car out of the plate, and Cooper just is frozen up. That's the end of the inning, apparently. There was a double play that we missed. Not only the first mistake of the game by the broadcaster, nonetheless, we move to the bottom of the first inning. Manchester dodged a huge bullet there, only surrendering 1 run. And Vegas will take the field with John Lester on the hill, and Ted Simmons behind the plate. In the field for the Vegas Stars, we have Joe DiMaggio in left, Tim Raines in center, Frank Robinson in right, Evan Longoria at third, Louis Aparicio at short, Javier Baez at second, Cecil Cooper at first, and as mentioned before, Simmons behind the plate. Lester takes the hill and comes set as he'll face Joe Morgan, who's batting .311 with no homers, 6 RBIs. The pitch. And Morgan dribbles that ball out to Aparicio, who gloves and fires to first. Morgan beats it out on a bang-bang play. So right out of the chute, Manchester's squad is threatening with some speed on the bases. Now up comes Stan Musial, He's riding an 8-game hit streak early this season, batting .254 with 5 homers, 13 RBI. We'll see what the man can do if he can deposit one into the bleacher seats from John Lester. Lester works. The runner is off. The throw is way too late. There isn't even a throw, really. And Morgan trots into second base with Musial still threatening. It is an 0-1 count. Lester comes set and fires. And Musial rides that ball out to second. Baez collects it over to first for out number 1, but not before Morgan makes it to third base. Musial got the job done there, and it gets a little easier for Vegas as Harry Steinfeld stands in. The third baseman's batting .297 with 2 homers and 8 RBI on the season. Lester works. And that ball is lifted high out to center field, carrying. Raines has it. Will there be a run? Morgan will race homeward and to tie the game up at 1. Now up we have Ryan Braun, who is batting .214 with no homers and 1 RBI. He'll be squaring off against Lester, as mentioned before. Braun steps in. Lester comes set. 2 down, bottom of the first inning. The pitch from Lester. And that ball is lifted high and deep out to center, but Raines is there, and he'll glove it for out number 3. After 1, we're tied at 1 apiece with Vegas coming up to bat. Now up for Vegas is Dick Stewart, the DH. He's batting .291 with 5 homers and 5 RBI. Harvey will get the sign from Olivo and fire homeward. And that ball is lifted high, arcing fly ball deep to left, way back, and forget about that. It's in the stands. Dick Stewart will round the bases for the 6th time this season. Home run number 6 for him. That's 398 feet. He got it up in the air, and that ball flew away. Vegas retakes the lead. They're a 2-1 lead now, with Ted Simmons standing in. The catcher is batting .241 with no homers and 5 RBIs. Harvey needs to collect himself and settle down here, but it's not really a great place to do that, so we'll see. That ball is trickled up the middle. Morgan ranges over. Off balance throw to first, and he gets his man for out number 1. Next up, we have Evan Longoria for Vegas, batting .196 with no homers and 4 RBI. Longoria stands in and awaits the pitch from Harvey. That ball is drilled down the line, foul, just foul. The third baseman could not come up with it, Steinfeld, and it is an 0-2 count as Harvey comes set. Longoria awaits the pitch. And that ball hits the zone, or does it? Indeed, it does not. He battled out of the 0-2 hole and works the walk to first base. Great discipline there by Evan Longoria as Aparicio stands in. Aparicio's batting .213 with no homers, 7 RBI. 1 man down, top of the 2nd inning. Harvey delivers. And that ball's lifted out to right. Lazy fly ball collected by Musial, who throws it back in, and the runner does not advance. Next up, we have Tim Raines, who's 1 for 1 on the day. He doubled his first time up off of the right field wall. Harvey looks the runner back and fires. To first base, while Longoria lunges back safely. We'll do it again. The pitch from Harvey. And that one's bounded back to Harvey, who throws to first to get his man. So after the leadoff home run, Vegas, Harvey settles down, and Manchester retires the remaining 3 batters of the inning. Now up for Manchester is Troy Tulowitzki. He's batting 196 with 2 homers and 5 RBIs. John Lester comes set. And that ball sounds drilled off the bat. Longoria collects, fires to first. It's in time. Out number 1. A little bit of a difficult play, but with a sure-handed third baseman like Longoria, not much gets by. Next up comes DH Mike Donlin, who is batting 236 with a homer and 6 RBI. Turkey Mike Donlin awaits the pitch from Lester. And that ball buzzes the corner, but not close enough, as Donlin will walk down to take his base and walk to first. Now up is Miguel Olivo, batting 412 with 1 RBI on the year. Donlin has a 75% chance of stealing, so Lester will be keeping a close watch on the runner. The pitch. That ball we'll get the verdict in a sec. The throw down to second, and in goes Donlin with his second steal of the season. Ball 1 was the call. Donlin had that all the way, and it's up to Olivo. Let's see what he can do here with 1 man down. The pitch. And that ball is drilled on a bounce to Longoria, who freezes the runner and fires to first for the out. So Longoria has made 2 good plays here this inning. Next up comes Big Ed Roush, batting 250 with a homer and 7 RBI. Donlin on second, 2 men down. The pitch. That ball is dribbled to first. Cooper has it, takes it to the bag, and that's all she wrote for the Red Bolts that inning. 2-1 Vegas as we head to the top of the third. Javier Baez will stand in. He's batting 237. He's 1 for 1 on the day. Singled his first time up. The pitch from Harvey. And that ball is trickled to third. Steinfeld has it, guns it to first for out number 1. Next up comes Joe DiMaggio, batting 271 with 3 homers and 11 RBIs. DiMaggio's 0 for 1 today. The pitch from Harvey. That one is popped up. It looks harmless enough, but it's flying into center and out of the park. Holy cow. That one just kept carrying, and Jolton Joe picked up his 4th homer. That didn't look like it had anything on it, but the Coors effect is alive and well as Vegas moves ahead 3-1. What a pitch what a at bat was that. That looked like it was going to stop right behind second base, and it just kept carrying and carrying out of here. Now up it's Big Frank Robinson, who's 0 for 1 on the day. Harvey needs once again, has been victimized by the long ball today, needs to settle down with 1 man down before his team falls too far back. The pitch to Robinson. That one shot up the middle. Harvey has it, throws to first for out number 2. Now it's Cooper, who's 0 for 1 on the day. The pitch to him. Harvey delivers, drilled into right. Cooper will put on the brakes at first as Musial got the ball back in quickly. Now up we have Dick Stewart, who hit a home run earlier on the day, his 6th of the season. And so Harvey will probably justifiably want to pitch around him here. The pitch. The runner's off. The ball is looped out to Tulowitzki, who collects it and follows the short way to second for out number 3. So after 2.5, it's 3-1 Vegas, with the Stars putting up a run in each of the first 3 frames. We'll see what happens with Manchester here as Benny Koff stands in. Koff is the center fielder, batting 304 with 2 homers and 7 RBIs. The pitch from Lester. And that ball is shot back to Lester, who loves it. Tosses over to first for the out. Next up, we have Joe Morgan, who led off the game for Manchester with a hit. and stole second and made his way to third and eventually homered. The pitch to Morgan. That ball is lifted. High, deep. It's carrying, but not far enough as Robinson is there in right to make the grab. 2 up, 2 down as Stan Musial hopes to get on the board for the Red Bolts. Lester comes set and fires. That one is ball 4. Musial did a well holding off of that to take his base. And now we are seeing Harry Steinfeld step in. He's the next man up. He's batting .297, 2 homers, 9 RBIs. Steinfeld is hitless on the day, although he did reach previously. The pitch. And the throw to first. Musial does dive back. He's safe. A bang-bang throw on a ball. And Musial does dive back. The pitch from Lester to Steinfeld. And that ball goes all the way to the backstop. And Musial will take second on the wild pitch. Lester works. And that ball is inside and hits him. The fans aren't happy there, but Musial will take his base. And up will come Ryan Braun, who's 0 for 1. Here's a man who can put the game right back in reach and possibly put the Red Bolts on top. Braun stands in, Lester works. And that's a strikeout. It hit the corner of the plate for out number 3. So after 3, it's 3-1 the Stars over the Red Bolts. Matt Harvey will stand in now. He'll face off. He'll pitch to Ted Simmons, who is 1 for 1, 0 for 1 on the day. The pitch to Harvey as we start the 4th. That ball from Harvey as we start the 4th, pardon me. Simmons carries it deep and back to the wall. It's off the wall, off the top of it, and Simmons will trot into second base for his 4th double. Next up, we have Evan Longoria trying to get some insurance for the Stars. Harvey fires. That ball is drilled down the left field line, carrying. Braun is there, though, and he makes the play for out number 1. Next up is Louis Aparicio, 208 on the year with 7 RBI, 0 for 1 today. The pitch to him. And that sounds like it's very well hit, but what a sensational play by Ed Roush, who takes it and scurries back to the bag for out number 2. Let us see. Simmons will move over to third on that with 2 down. And a critical juncture in the game here for the Red Bolts is Tim Raines comes to the plate, 1 for 2. On the day, let's see, he's doubled off the right field wall and grounded back to the pitcher. The pitch from Harvey. That ball is cued up the middle. Morgan is there, fires to first and gets his man. That's the first inning of the day that the Manchester Red Bolts have held Vegas scoreless. Let's see what they can do in the bottom half of the 4th as Lester returns to the hill for Vegas and Tulowitzki stands in at the plate. The pitch to Tulowitzki. And that ball is lifted out to left, carrying out of the park. No, maybe off of the wall. Tulowitzki hits a ringing double off the top of the wall and left. Good sign for Manchester as the shortstop wheels into second base. Now we got Turkey Mike Donlin, who walked his last time up, squaring off against Lester. The pitch from Lester. That ball is blistered back to the backstop. We'll do it all over again. A 1-2 count. The pitch. And that ball is smoked into the gap, into right field. The fielders will converge. Donlin is rounding second, and he'll wheel into third with a triple. Big hit by Turkey Mike to get Manchester within 1 run, and still nobody out. The center and right fielders each thought they had it, but neither the speed of Rains nor the fielding prowess of Robinson was quite enough as the runner came home. Now up comes Miguel Olivo, tying with a go-ahead run at the plate. Lester gets the sign, comes set, and fires. And that one is drilled into the corner. The run comes home, and Olivo churns into second. Back to back to back extra base hits as things come unraveled here for Vegas, and the Red Bulls bats come alive. That's his first double in the season for Miguel Olivo. Now up comes Ed Roush. He gets no easier. He's batting .245 with a homer and 7 RBIs. Lester is just shell-shocked here in Coors as the pitch comes home. And that one dribble out to second, a routine play for Baez, who will flip to first, but not before the go-ahead run trots down to third on the play. Benny Koff stands in. He's 0 for 1 on the day. And as Lester comes set, the pitch. And that ball is lifted out to left, high, deep, but DiMaggio has it. Olivo is going to try and score. So just like that, the Manchester Red Bulls have gone ahead 4-3 by plating 3 here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Now back to the top of the order, we have Joe Morgan, who's 1 for 2 on the day. The pitch from Lester. And what is going to happen? They're pulling Lester for Bert Hooton. Bert Hooton is going to come in. That's his first appearance. Second, he's 1-0 on the season. Pitched 5 innings, 2 hits, a walk, and 8 strikeouts. Or a homer, a walk, and 8 strikeouts. Excuse me. The pitch from Hooton. And Morgan will lift that ball shallow right center, out behind second. Baez camps under it and makes the grab for out number 3. So Lester has been chased from the game, and Manchester has taken a 4-3 lead. Let's see what happens here. Whether Vegas can respond in kind as Baez stands in against Matt Harvey, who has a new lease on life. We have today Baez grounded to third in the 3rd inning in line to single to left center in the 1st. The pitch from Harvey. And that ball is ball 4, strike 3 for his 3rd strikeout of the day. Not what you want to see if you're Vegas, with Joe DiMaggio coming up. DiMaggio has already clubbed a homer his last time up. So Harvey, if he can just keep the ball in the park, will be in good shape here. Vegas, on the other hand, wants to see Joe give it a jolt with this pitch. And that ball is smoked to third. Steinfeld up with it and fires it to first for the out on a bang-bang play. They don't call it the Hawk Corner for nothing, as Frank Robinson will stand in with a homer and 6 RBI. He's 0 for 2 on the day, so you got to figure he's due as Harvey fires. And that ball is looped to Tulowitzki, who makes a lunging grab for the out number 3. And just like that, after 4.5, halfway home, it's the Red Bulls 4, the Vegas Stars 3. Now leading off for the Red Bulls is Stan the Man Musial facing Hooton, who's thrown 2 pitches, came in for the final out of the last inning. The pitch from Hooton, and Musial drills it down to first on a double on 2 hops, and Cooper will make the play for out number 1. Harry Steinfeld, who still hasn't gotten a hit or credited with an at-bat on the day, comes to the plate. Hooton delivers. And that ball buzzes the zone for strike 3 and his first K of the day. Next up is Ryan Braun. He'll square off against Hooton. He's 0 for 2 on the day. The pitch to Braun. And that ball is smoked into the hole past Aparicio, and Braun is aboard with a single in the left field. Tulowitzki will stand in now. He's 1 for 2. He grounded to third his last time up and doubled off the wall and left to get the rally started. Let's see what he has in store here for Manchester. The pitch. The runner is off. The throw is not in time, and Ryan Braun, of all people, steals his first base. Not what you want to see if you're the Vegas manager, hoping for a little bit of prowess behind the plate. Tulowitzki stands in. The runner at second. The pitch. That ball is popped behind second base. Baez waits for it to come down, and indeed he does. He puts it away for out number 3. After 5, it's 4-3, Manchester. Now up for Vegas is Cecil Cooper, who's 1 for 2 on the day. He struck out swinging his first time and lined a single between first and second in the third. The pitch from, well, they're bringing in a pitcher as well. They're bringing in Delisle, who is going to see what's going to transpire here, facing Cooper. The pitch. That ball is back to Delisle, who tosses it away, and just like that, back into the game. And Cooper is aboard at first with Dick Stewart standing in. And Delisle, not what you want to see out of him right out of the gate on a routine play. He's hoping for a double play here, whereas Dick Stewart is hoping to launch his second homer of the day. The pitch. That ball is down to first. Roosh has it, fires to second for 1 to get the lead man, and back to first just like that, a double play. Great, good news for the Manchester squad. They coaxed a double play out of the powerful Dick Stewart. Now up it's Ted Simmons, who's 1 for 2. He, earlier in the day, doubled off the wall and left and grounded to second. The pitch. That one shot into the corner, down and left. Braun goes to retrieve it, stumbles and fumbles around. Simmons will chug his way into second base for his second double of the day and for his 5th on the season. Longoria stands in now. Evan Longoria 0 for 1 as Delisle tries to slam the door closed. The pitch. That one's lifted high and deep to left, back, but Braun is there. He stutters and stammers and makes the grab on a spectacular catch, nonetheless, to end the inning. So after 5.5, 4-3, Manchester. Now up we have Bert Hootens returning to face Turkey Mike Donlin, who clubbed a triple his for last time up to drive in, I believe, the tying run. It wasn't the go-ahead run, but the tying run just the same. Hooten comes set and fires. Donlin drills that ball out to right, high and deep, down the line. Robinson ranges over, makes the catch for out number 1. Now it's Miguel Olivo, who's double the last time up, did plate Mike Donlin for the go-ahead run, and as Hooten comes set. The pitch. And that one buzzes his own for strike number 3 and strikeout number 2. 2 down here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Ed Roush will stand in. He's 0 for 2 on the day. Hooten delivers. And that ball is out back to Hooten, comes off the mound, tosses to first to get his man. 1-2-3 inning. Bert Hooten has calmed down significantly. Now for Vegas, as we lead off the 7th inning, is Louis Aparicio, who's 0 for 2. Delisle comes set and fires. That ball is down to third. Davenport at third, who is a defensive sub, makes the throw to first for out number 1. Let's check the field again to see if we have any other subs we may have missed. No, apparently Davenport is the only one. And that was a great play by him. Now up it's Rains, who led off the day with a double, facing Belial. The pitch. That one is looped out to second and over the head of Joe Morgan for a seeing eye single. Tim Raines is aboard for his second hit of the day. And the tying run. Let's see if Javi Baez, who's also got a hit on the day, he doubled his last time up. Oh no, he struck out his last time up and singled. I got that totally wrong. So here we are. Let's see what Javi Baez can do. The throw to first is not in time, and Raines dives back safely. The pitch to Baez. Another throw to first, and Raines is back again. The fans are cheering their pitcher on, but Raines is not happy. Here's the pitch. That one's right, shot out to left, carrying down the line, but Braun is there on the line for the grab for out number 2, the throwback in. It gets no easier for Belial as he'll face Joe DiMaggio, who we mentioned hit his 4th homer of the year earlier in the day. What he does here will determine Vegas's fate, I feel. The pitch. They're going to the mound, and Hoyt Wilhelm will be now pitching for Manchester. A wise decision there. Wilhelm, a solid pitcher from the late 19 teens, early 20s. The pitch from Wilhelm. That ball is lifted, floating a little blooper past the shortstop and into no man's land. Runners at the corners. Certainly, Vegas is thankful for the hit, but they could have had more when they were hoping for a little more. Now it'll be up to Frank Robinson as the pressure mounts on Wilhelm. The pitch. That ball is drilled to third. Davenport throws to second off balance to retire the side. That'll end. Take us to the middle of the summer. And as we head to the bottom of the 7th, what a sensational play that was defensively by Davenport, who, as a defensive sub, certainly is paid off for the Red Bolt Nation. Now let's see what Hooten can do. Can he hold Manchester off the boards long enough to give his Vegas Stars another chance? They've certainly had them, and by rights they could have won this game today. The pitch from Hooten, and he'll be facing off against Koff, who's 0 for 1. There's new shuffling around in the outfield, it would appear. Maybe not. No, apparently not. Thought there was a defensive sub there. The pitch from Benoit. We'll carry that thought. That's strike 3. Bernie Koff is dispensed with. Joaquin Benoit is the new pitcher for Vegas. He's got a 4.76 ERA in 5 2/3 innings this season. Allowed 3 hits, a homer, walked none, and struck out 5. The pitch from Joaquin Benoit to Joe Morgan, who's 1 for 3 on the day. And that ball is right up the middle. Baez has it, though, and he'll make the throw to first for out number 2. So far, so good for the reliever Benoit, as Stan Musial will stand in with an 8-game hitting streak on the line. Let's see what he can do. And he scorches it to Baez, who makes quick work of it and tosses to first. 1-2-3 inning for Benoit as we head to the eighth. Now to Hoyt Wilhelm will stand in and face Cecil Cooper at first. Cooper is batting .263 with a homer, 5 RBI. He's 1 for 2 on the day with a single, I believe. He grounded the pitcher last time up, and he singled between first and second in the third. The pitch from Wilhelm. That ball is out to Joe Morgan, who gloves it, tosses to first for out number 1. Routine play. That's what you want to see. What you don't want to see if you're Kaiser Wilhelm is Nick Stewart going for his second homer of the day to tie things up. So you can rest assured Wilhelm will be pitching around Stewart here. The pitch. And sure enough, that ball gets by. Strike 3. Throw to first and an alley-oop. And Roosh makes the play for out number 2. That had disaster written all over it, but fortunately Roosh had presence of mind and caught the ball. Now up is Ted Simmons, who's 2 for 3. He singled and doubled, I believe. Double off the wall, doubled twice. He's grabbed 2 doubles on the day. The pitch from Wilhelm to Oliva. That one is drilled back to Wilhelm, who tosses sure-handedly to first. 1-2-3 they go. We're heading to the bottom of the 8th as Manchester's Dave Davenport is the hero of the game thus far from a defensive standpoint, batting .200, is looking to put some insurance on the board. The pitch to Davenport from Benoit. And that ball is cued up the middle and high and deep, rather, out to Raines. That had everybody fooled, including the broadcaster, for out number 1. Now up was Ryan Braun. He's got a hit earlier. He singled, I believe, maybe doubled. He singled between third and short his last time up as he awaits word from Benoit. The delivery. That one down the left field line, deep back. DiMaggio is there, and he puts it in his glove for out number 2. Now up we have Tulowitzki, who's 1 for 3 on the day. He started it all off, the rally off with a double earlier in the 4th inning, and eventually scored. He's trying to add on here as Benoit comes set. The pitch. That one's cued out to left, down the line. DiMaggio once again. He's been busy today for out number 3. So this is Vegas' last chance, and they're going to have to do it with Longoria, Aparicio, and Raines. And if anybody reaches, to be Javi Baez. Wilhelm doesn't want any of that to happen, however, as he'll fire homeward. They're going to have a pinch hitter in Carlos Gonzalez, who swings and waves at it for strike 3. Carlos Gonzalez will soon be leaving Vegas. That's just a preview of the type of player he is for the team getting him, I may add, as we go from here. Aparicio will now stand in. He's 0 for 3 on the day, 1 man down. Wilhelm works. Bartlett apparently has come in to pinch hit, and he'll move one into center. There's a pinch hitter. Jason. Let's see who that pinch hitter is. That pinch hitter was a last-minute thing. Jason Bartlett. He's now at first with Tim Raines coming on. Wilhelm glances over. The pitch to Raines. That ball's back up to Wilhelm. Slowly hit. Throw to first. Tulowitzki has his man for out number 2. But Bartlett's in scoring position. And Baez is at the plate. Let's see what he can do. Now today, Baez had a deep fly ball down the left field line in the 7th. He struck out in the 5th, grounded to third in the 3rd, and singled in the first. You got to figure Baez is due if you're a Vegas fan. Your hopes ride on him, or potentially him working a walk to bring DiMaggio to the plate. Regardless, Wilhelm works. And that is ball, strike three. And just like that, the Red Bolts, in a thrilling display of baseball, get the third out to beat Vegas 4-3, a game it was. And to recap, Vegas jumped out to an early 3-0 lead in the first 3 innings, or 3-1 lead rather, in the first 3 innings. And then the Red Bolts, with a double, triple, and a double, rallied to get 3 runs across the board to take the 4-3 lead and eventual win. We'll see who the player of the game happens to be today. We'll have a look here. Just a sec. And the player of the game, if I had to guess, would probably should be Dave Davenport, as he killed Vegas's only rally of the day. It's Mike Donlin. Well, I can certainly see that. Donlin had a great day. Despite Vegas's, he did. He went 2 for 3, 1 for 2 with a triple and a stolen base. So you got to give it to him. Nonetheless, Vegas, the power of Joe DiMaggio, the power of Dick Stewart, and the batting of Simmons were positives for the Vegas Stars. So let's now go back to the action and see where we stand at the moment. We'll have a look at the standings after this briefly here. We have moved on to the next day. Okay. So what am I going to do here? Let's see. Let's go back. No, what I will do, I will go through the next week or so, I guess. Well, I could. Depends what you guys want me to do. I've only broadcast 1 game today and going from there. So, we're going from there, I guess. So let us see how things depends on what people would like me to do. I'm just checking the messages real quick. Gonna pop over to the other screen. Maybe I will not. Maybe I'll stay here because sometimes this game acts funky when I do that. So we'll see what happens. Okay. Can they both win? That's a good question, Clue. They probably cannot. Good morning, Bernie. Let's see let's just play things by ear and go back here to the game and see. I'm sorry for dithering a little bit, but I will say this. Let's see what we have for games here on the 19th. Do we have anybody really? Hadley Lake and Long Island. Amazing is playing. Amazing is 11-3. That is amazing. D-Gens at Lehigh. That's a quality game. I don't know if I really want to do another game at this point. I don't know if people are going to mutiny if I only do 1 day. Let's see what other games we have on the docket here. Florence and Hagerstown. These are continuations of those series. D-Gens and Lehigh looks like would be a real blast for people to watch if anybody wanted to carry the torch from that point on. Hadley Lake, I don't want to broadcast my own team at the moment. Let's see. Looking at Thursday, I haven't not looked at this schedule super close. There doesn't look to be anything there. Lancaster and Lehigh, that could be interesting later in the week. San Fran and Philadelphia, that could be an interesting series. Beantown and Chicago, Chicago is fighting. We'll see how they go. They may be fighting for last place. Amazing in Hadley Lake. That will be an interesting series. So I'm going to say what I'm going to do, maybe what I will do is just carry this forward another, maybe I will just do the one day. And then if somebody else wants to broadcast later today, broadcast a couple of games. There's certainly enough games in this week. I don't want to shortchange anybody from seeing their teams play, and I know there are some quality games in store. So rather than broad sim a whole week, we still have a couple of days left in the month to sim out the month. So if anybody wants to take the ball from here, I think I think there's a great game with Degens and Lehigh. There's a couple of opportunities there. And also with Hadley Lake and Amazing. So that's also a possibility. So you have a couple of 3 games. Somebody wants to broadcast the rest of the week. Sorry for only doing one day, but that Vegas Lehigh game, Vegas Manchester game was too good to pass up, and it certainly lived up to the expectation. With that, I'll quit babbling here and have a look at the standings, because we have the standings. They're not very reliable at this point. There's going to be a lot of fluctuation, I am sure. We have in the Sandlot division, Lancaster is 4 games up over Crystal Lake and 4 games up over the Degens, who made a monster trade and who you can't really count out. And then there's Washington, who's 6-11 with the mighty Rube Waddell. In the Around the Horn division, St. Louis is 2.5 up over Florence and 4.5 up over Lehigh and 7 up over Chicago. In the Moneyball division, we have Beantown at 12-5, leading T-ville by 2 games. Chico's is 3rd place, 4.5 out. And Hagerstown is last at 6.5 out at 5-11. In the rain delay division, there certainly is no rain delay there, with Manchester, who's 10-5, is one of the teams to beat. San Fran is 9-8, they're 2 out. Edmonton is 7-8 at 3 out, and St. Pete is 4-13 at 7 out. In the Benchwarmer division, you have Hadley Lake, uncharacteristically leading the division at 10-6, followed by Bernie's Vegas Stars at 8-8, 2 games out, Philadelphia at 2.5 out, and Maplewood at 6-9, 3.5 out. That's going to be a very down to the wire division throughout the season. And in the Naturals, we have Amazing at 14-3, the best record in the league, followed by Brooklyn at 9-8, at 8-8, 5.5 out, Long Island at 7 out, at 6-9, and at 6-10, Cleveland at 7.5. So that's the score. I will be zipping this league file up shortly, and whoever wants to take the torch from here and play out the rest of this week, certainly feel free to do so. There's plenty, as I mentioned, there's plenty of great games. So I'm going to check the messages one more time and see what happens from there. What happens here. It doesn't look like there's anything going. So on that note, we're going to say goodbye. And until next time, this is Will Tuell signing off.